CouchPotatoGM.com is the website. Couch Potato General Manager is the YouTube channel. You know it because you're on it. So stop, pause, wait a second, hit that red button, subscribe. It's red, right? It's red when you subscribe and gray when you, no, red when you're not subscribed, gray when you are subscribed. So I needed to turn gray. Do me that favor. Don't unsubscribe after you hit the subscribe button. Now we can get into the video. We talking Dolphins.
Hashtag fins up.
That's it?
Yeah, we got a lot of Miami, we got a fan base that follows CouchPotatoGM.com. So we're going to tell you guys about the draft.
People's Champ.
I was just getting
the People's Champ.
T. Rogers.
T. Rogers.
Yeah, man.
Who else
Ricky.
we got? Ricky.
Bannerman. You know what I'm saying?
All y'all,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, man.
We here,
What's up,
man.
peoples?
Talking your team. Dolphins, man. First pick. He fell to him. Or so some people say. Minkah Fitzpatrick.
So here's my analysis on this pick.
Here's your analysis.
I love it.
Love
Is it? Is it?
This guy was a top 10 talent in the draft. This guy's, he lined up at that star position at Alabama. He was in the box all over the football field. He closes. He's always in phase. The Dolphins gave up 94 catches to the tight end position last year.
Not this year.
Not this year with Minkah, right?
Not this
They allowed 70% completion percentage last year. Minkah is there to shut all that down. The Dolphins needed help all over the defense, but getting Minkah Fitzpatrick, excellent pick, man.
I think he's the type of player that makes, typically you want to build your defense from the front back. He has the ability to make the first and second level of the defense better. He's that kind of player. The leadership that he brings to the table, the football intelligence, and then obviously his own physical tools.
Versatility is the new safety, and that's what you have here with Minkah Fitzpatrick. And when I think about, the Dolphins drafting Minkah, the team that comes to mind is the Jets. In that it makes, because the year before, the Jets got my number one safety, I can't think of his name right
Jamal
now.
Adams,
And the other safety, Marcus May, the Gator.
Yeah.
They struggled. And you thought Todd Bowles is out the door. Then they go and they draft these two guys. I think it was a back-to-back, if I'm not mistaken, safety.
Yeah. A lot of people question it, including me.
Yeah, well, what the hell's going on? And at the end of the day, when you think about it, it makes things a lot easier, especially for a defense that's what we call Legos. When you're moving all these pieces around before the snap, after the snap, a lot of things going on, you're not sure what's about to happen. And having two safeties who can do essentially the same thing or something similar to both, it makes things a lot easier. And Minkah, like you said, it was 94 passes to the tight end, 90-something. That's crazy, bro. That's not supposed to happen.
Especially third downs. That's just deflating, man.
I mean, that's pitch and catch easy. Yeah. So Minkah, kind of shores things up, man. I like the pick, man.
And there were talks about Minkah playing outside corner, but he's going to be in the slot. He's going to be towards the line of scrimmage. There's no question there, right?
Yeah. I don't think there's. I think the Dolphins are excited about Tankersley, Xavier Howard. That length and ability to run, open up and run on the outside. I think they like how those guys are developing. So
and they're going to get back Ray McMillan and
Raekwon
McMillan in the middle. They got Kiko. So
I think that's, to me, it's not a bigger concern, but it is an issue because they were rolling guys out like Timmons and Malaluga, and it's just you don't want Malaluga out there. You know what I mean? So
liability.
Roll him out.
Round 2, they went out and they got it was just like a tight end 2.
Gesicki.
Mike Gesicki, Mr. Athletic. I call him Mr. Dallas Clark. If y'all know who that is, some of y'all may not. Young fans may not know who that is. Super athletic, man. He's a sparky guy. It showed up on film though. It showed a lot of sparky guys. You don't see it on film. This guy, you saw it on film, man. He's not a prototypical inline tight end. He's a flex. Put him out by himself, which is what
he's a receiver masquerading in the tight end's body.
Yeah, absolutely. And this kind of matches exactly what Gase does and what he wanted. I don't think Gase.
It's Adam Gase.
It's Gase. I like Gase, man.
Gase is the running back. The Redskins drafted.
Oh, I mean, it depends on how you pronounce it, isn't it?
No. I'm pretty sure it's
how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's Gase.
Okay.
Adam Gase. Yeah. What Gase likes to do is have one tight end on one side by himself, and 3 receivers on the other side. He was asked this, actually. I forget who asked him. Basically, you know, what formation do you like the most? And he said, this. If I could do it every play, I would. 3 trips on one side and the tight end on the other side by himself. This is the guy he needed. You know, with those just 3 receivers on one side, you know, what's the defense going to do? Who are they going to line up over? They're going to put a linebacker on Gesicki? They're going to put a corner on Gesicki? They're going to put a safety on Gesicki? You know, it's kind of pick your poison, and then it makes it easier for the quarterback to make the read.
Yeah, Gesicki, like you say, he's a sparky guy. He jumped out the gym. He killed the combine. On tape at Penn State, you know, he's a big play weapon, a big threat. He high points footballs. He's a red zone threat. The issue with him, though, is the little nuances within his game, getting open in zone defenses. He's a one-speed type of player.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really give you much in run blocking. He's probably not going to be asked to do that. They're going to probably split him out wide. But he is what they thought they were getting in Julius Thomas. You know, they moved on from Julius Thomas, right? He's not there anymore. Where's Julius Thomas? Guy's missing, man. No Peyton Manning, I guess. No more Peyton Manning for him. So, you know, Gesicki is that guy in Gase offense that he was looking for with Julius Thomas.
I tend to agree with that assessment. There's another tight end that they drafted, day 3, in the 4th round, and I think I'd like to go there.
Durham Smythe.
Durham Smythe out of Notre Dame. We talked about some of the other Notre Dame prospects and the fact that these guys, based on the system that they're running, they are more pro-ready than a lot of these other players. They may not have the ceiling, be as talented as some of the other prospects, but they're more pro-ready. Durham Smythe is your inline guy. That's the guy who's inline. What I'm anticipating is a philosophical change in terms of what Gase was doing with Miami. I think he has a plan of action where he's going to use both of those tight ends. There's no more Jarivs Landry. I don't think he's a fan of Jakeem Grant. We've yet to really see Devontae Parker kind of take off. Yeah, we hear that Kenny Stills.
Yeah. They rave about Parker every year.
They do, and from what I'm hearing is Parker's putting in the work. We got to see it. We got to see it. Yeah. But I think, you know, you mentioned trips. Maybe Gesicki's in the slot. Maybe he's in the slot, and Smythe is in line.
Did you have a bold prediction about Smythe and Gesicki? Did you?
Did I?
I don't know. I thought you said something that he's going to be more productive.
You know what? And I may have, and I'll stick to it. You know, I'll put it on now. I just think there's no question. Gesicki is a superior athlete. I just think Smythe offers more. You know what I mean? He's not from the position as a whole. Yeah. But I am anticipating them deploying both tight ends more often because, again, we've talked about it over the last several years. There have been so many receivers in Miami. And the only guy getting any targets was Jarivs Landry. There's been a Leonte Caruso, a lot of guys that we liked, really liked. Even some of the guys that they drafted, Lace or got as undrafted rookie free agents. You know, Isaiah Ford being one of them coming to mind. You know what I mean? We liked a lot of the talent there, but they were never really deployed. And I think Gase is especially now that they're trying to change the culture in the locker room and around that organization. I think they're looking for a specific type of player, and I think Smythe actually probably fits that role, that blue-collar mentality, a little bit more. That isn't to say that Gesicki isn't going to be deployed on a regular basis, but Smythe, to me, is a more balanced tight end.
I would agree, and there was a couple of tight ends in this draft where they just didn't get no love. They didn't get no play in terms of getting out in the field, getting upfield.
It's boring. It's boring.
And college systems don't really know how to utilize the tight ends.
It's either they're the Gesicki or they're an inline blocker.
They're Dalton Schultz.
There's no middle ground.
Exactly.
You know, exactly. And Durham Smythe unfortunately was used as an inline guy, and I could see the potential. And even when he ran his routes, it was nice, but he ain't throwing the football for whatever reason. He was open, just didn't throw the ball. So he may get his shot, man, here, and it wouldn't surprise me if he outdid Gesicki.
I think he probably will get more snaps. I think he would probably end up getting more snaps than Gesicki. Gesicki will likely have more targets, but I think he's going to end up, because of the utility of Smythe. And the interesting thing is that both these guys were actually at the Senior Bowl and they looked good. You know what I mean? Gesicki, obviously, his ability to get up and down the field. Smythe all around. You know what I mean? And again, we talked about, I alluded to the culture change. You know, Gase seems to be looking for guys who are polished. Minkah Fitzpatrick, and experienced. Gesicki, Smythe, both of them were at the Senior Bowl. the back that they drafted went to the Senior Bowl as well. We'll get to him in just a second.
Oh, we gotta put the bus in reverse real quick, and we gotta go back in the third round and talk about Jerome Baker, outside linebacker for Ohio State. And the only thing I saw from Baker is he coming downhill, coming off the edge as a blitzer. I don't know what exactly it is that the Dolphins saw in this pick. I'm not sure. And when you talk about the strong side linebacker, they also have Stephon Anthony, who former first round pick. So I'm not sure that the strong side linebacker is a huge play. I think with the drafting of Minkah Fitzpatrick, I think Dolphins might be a nickel 80% of the time.
Predominantly. I think you touched on it. My notes for Jerome Baker, I said a team has to figure out a plan for him because he's an undersized linebacker that looks and moves like a safety. So he's definitely going to upgrade the Dolphins' pass coverage. Like we said, they gave him 94 passes to tight ends, 70% completion percentage to tight ends. So he's there for that nickel dime look. He played in the slot a lot. He's very instinctive, nice change of motion. He wins with finesse, but I think he lacks the desired strength. I don't think he should be in the box. I don't think he should be really playing against the run. So he's more of a situational guy.
Yeah, I agree. He's a situational guy. What he ultimately develops into, maybe a different story. But I think, again, we talked about the Timmons and Malalu. You can't have those guys out there on passing downs. You can't. And it's becoming a passing league. And you're matching up against New England twice a year. They're going to the tight end. They're going to the running backs out of the backfield. They're getting to the slot guys. So Jerome Baker will likely be a nickel backer, and he'll be expected to make plays on special teams.
That combination with Minkah and Baker, it makes the Dolphins a lot faster, a lot more athletic, better against the pass. So,
All right, man. With their second, fourth round pick, because Durham Smythe was their first fourth round pick, with the second, fourth round pick, they went out and they got Kalen Ballage, Arizona State running back. This guy might have the most, out of all the running backs outside of Saquon Barkley, may have had the highest potential ceiling.
Oof. So we're going with?
But there's a big ass but.
Big ass but.
For a guy who, has he when you look at him physically, he looks like David Johnson.
No, he looks the part.
Yeah, he don't play like David Johnson every play. I mean, the number one thing that I saw obviously was his size, but his acceleration is unbelievable. He gets to that third step and it's lights, camera, action, man. But I think he's never amassed anything over 700 yards, and in college that's crazy from a running back position. Like, you should be in the thousands. I mean, at least hit 1,000. He's never done it. I'm not sure what the issue was there. I don't think he's ever put it all together, and I think he's going to be a weapon for the Dolphins. I really do. I think Gase has a plan. Gase has a plan for him, and I know they drafted him because they loved him, absolutely loved him, fell in love with his potential.
Yeah, this guy's probably one of the biggest enigmas out here. There's a lot of talk on Kalen Ballage. Some people loved him, some people hated him. It was like really no middle ground. I know you've seen him at the Senior Bowl. We have a video. Check out our video. Go a little lower, and you'll see a video of Kalen Ballage.
It'll be at the end of this one.
It'll be at the end of this video to check out Kalen Ballage. So he's an interesting prospect. They brought in Frank Gore, Kenyon Drake. Last season, the second half of last season really sparked. So they have a crowded running back room. What are you thinking, man?
So you alluded to it. There will be more content regarding the Dolphins running back room. You know what I mean? Because of the players that they have, the collection of backs that they have. Yeah. I see quite a bit of Kenyon Drake and Kalen Ballage. Yeah. Those guys are very similar. You mentioned the fact that he never really took the reins as a primary ball carrier at Arizona State. It's because he tried to do too much, and he didn't necessarily have the natural feel that you can't really put a number on it. It doesn't necessarily show up on any of the drills because he's sparky as hell. Yep. You know what I mean? But they're the flashes that you see, and certainly what he offers in the passing game is incredibly intriguing and worth the pick on day 3. He's definitely worth the pick on day 3. There's a wide range of possibilities with Ballage in year 1. I think he could be regulated to being a kickoff return guy on the low end. On the high end, I think he could be last year's Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that it's a wide schism, and I'm concerned about because he was frustrating as a ball carrier for Arizona State's head coach for their coaching staff. There were some changes there, and his role didn't really change. You know what I mean? So, and from what you can tell, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, Gase won't play you, or you know what I'm saying? You'll be in his doghouse. So I'm concerned a little bit about that, but ideally, put him in a one-cut system.
Yeah.
You put him in a one-cut system, get him downhill, get him to the second level, and I think he can really do damage. I think he has some special qualities, but I think systemically he has to be. He's not going to be a guy that you can count on to pick the right hole, backside, or whatever the case may be. Yep. It needs to be designed one cut. Let him get his shoulder pads going north and south, and he can do some serious damage.
With the compensatory 6th-round pick, because y'all didn't keep somebody, let me know who that was who you didn't keep. Cornell Armstrong, cornerback, Southern Miss. The little I have him, he is, what I got here in my notes, feisty but a controlled player, man.
4 speed, faster. The Dolphins made a concerted effort to get faster on defense. He might not play right away, probably a special teams guy, but full speed.
Yeah, I think, we talked about it before. You can never have enough pass rushers. You can never have enough defensive backs. And they're trying to add athletes and guys that are competent in coverage to this team. I think they're pleased with their pass rush. You can always stand to get better, but I think they're confident in what they have in terms of a down line. I think at the second level, the third level, particularly when defending the pass, they got beat up. You understand what I'm saying? You mentioned the statistics of facing against tight ends. I imagine what they look like against running backs. I'm pretty sure it's not a whole lot better. You understand what I'm saying? So, again, they seem to have something going on the outside. You add Minkah Fitzpatrick to Rashad Jones, who I think we all like. You need more bodies. You need more bodies. Teams are coming out in 3 and 4 and 5 wide sets all of the time now.
Right,
you know what I mean? A lot of teams are going no huddle. You need bodies. You need guys who can run. So it makes sense from that perspective.
Round 7, with their first pick, because their second pick was a kicker. We don't talk kickers or punters unless they're from our school.
But their second round 7 was a kicker.
That's what he said.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was still thinking about what you were saying.
That's right. Y'all in it? With their first 7th-round pick, they got Quentin. Is it Polling or Polling?
I'll go
Polling. Polling?
How many L's?
2 L's.
2 O's?
1 O, 1 L.
No, that's 2 L's.
I got 1 L on mine. Okay, your website.
It's not CouchPotatoGM.com.
Nah, you gotta go there. Man.
So it's
Polling.
Polling?
Let's go to Polling.
Quentin Polling, linebacker from Ohio. My notes here, man, I got speed kills. But he doesn't play up to that speed at times. And I saw an interesting stat, man. Had more assisted tackles than he has solo tackles.
What does that mean?
He's diving on the pod.
Hey, man, like you said, speed.
Yeah.
4'5" linebacker, you run a 4'5", 38 vertical. He's a sparky guy.
Yeah. And at that point in the draft, special teamer. You know what I'm saying? See if he sticks. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't like the idea of more assist tackles than actual solo tackles. I don't like the idea.
That's a strange stat.
I've
never heard of that.
I'm not a fan of that. But again, not everybody can run a 4.5, particularly at that position.
I ran a 4.5 back in my heyday. I was timed.
Were you a linebacker?
You ran a 30-yard dash, bro. That's a 30-yard dash, bro.
Hey, man.
That's CouchPotatoGM.com is the website. Couch Potato General Manager is the YouTube channel. Listen, #Fins.
Fins up.
Subscribe, man. We want to discuss, man. Subscribe to the channel so we can talk about your team, man. I'm a Bucs fan. It's a Cowboy fan. It's a Falcon fan. But it's the hate. It's the hate. Division rivalry, But we love football, man, and we want to talk. Obviously, we talking your team.
We are football fans. That's
at the end of the day, man, and when you know, when a team makes a mistake or is doing something silly or they're doing something great, man, we talk about it, we speak about it, man. And so we want to talk about it with your team, man. How do you feel about your draft? Where you at on it, man? I really want to know what fans, how they feel about Jerome Baker, seriously. Well, what's his role? What do you think he's doing? What's you know, I talked a little greasy about your strong side linebackers. Come at me, man. Let's discuss it, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. CoffeePotatoGym.com.
Pain is in the building.